Long ago, in the age of myths and legends, the bright blue waters of the Mediterranean were the highways of ancient Greece. On these waters, white-sailed ships danced between islands, carrying goods and stories. In a small coastal city, a young boy named Nikos dreamed of this life. He didn't just love the sea, he respected it. He listened to the waves whispering against wooden boats and watched gulls paint circles in the sky above the harbor. His father was a sailor, and Nikos hoped to one day join a crew. But he didn't dream of being the strongest rower. He dreamed of being the one who could guide the ship wisely, using his mind. Greek sailors were masters of their craft. They knew the sea wasn't a beast to be tamed with muscle, but a puzzle to be solved with knowledge. They studied the stars, mapping their journeys across the night sky. They learned the language of the wind, feeling its shifts and moods. They read the patterns of the waves, understanding the ocean's deep currents. Out on the vast open sea, knowledge was your shield, your compass, and your greatest weapon. Strength could tire, but a sharp mind could see you through any storm. One bright summer morning, Nikos's dream began to take shape. He was allowed to join a short trading voyage to a nearby island. The ship was loaded with precious olive oil and beautifully painted pottery, ready to be exchanged for life-giving grain. As the ship pulled away from the familiar harbor, a thrill of excitement mixed with a flutter of nerves filled Nikos's chest. The captain, a man whose face was a map of countless voyages, pointed toward the endless horizon. "Today you will watch and learn," he said, his voice steady and calm. A good sailor observes before he acts. For hours, the journey was perfect. The sea was a sheet of glass, and the crew worked in harmony, adjusting the large white sail to catch every breath of wind. Nikos was a sponge, soaking it all in. He saw how the captain used the sun's position to track their progress. He listened intently as the experienced sailors talked about the subtle changes in the wind's song. He was learning that sailing was a conversation with nature itself. But the sea is as unpredictable as it is beautiful. By afternoon, the sky began to change. Dark, heavy clouds gathered on the horizon like a gathering army. The wind, once a gentle partner, shifted suddenly, becoming restless and sharp. The waves grew choppy, slapping against the ship's hull with more force. "We might not make it to the island before the storm hits," one of the sailors muttered, his voice laced with concern. The captain's face was serious as he studied the darkening sky. The air grew tense. While others worried, Nikos looked around, his mind racing. He remembered the stories his father had told him, lessons passed down through generations of sailors. One story was about using the coastline itself as a shield during sudden storms. His eyes scanned the shore, and he spotted a rocky stretch of land to their right. He remembered this place. "Captain," Nikos said, his voice respectful but clear, breaking the tense silence. "There is a small bay behind those cliffs. My father once showed me on a fishing trip. The cliffs are high enough to block the strongest winds." The captain turned, his experienced eyes narrowing as he considered the boy's words. "Are you certain?" He asked the question hanging heavy in the air. I believe so, Nikos replied, his calmness a small anchor in the rising storm. Without another word, the captain gave the order. The crew sprang into action, adjusting the sail. The ship turned, making a new course toward the rocky coastline. As they drew closer, a narrow but calm inlet revealed itself, hidden behind the towering cliffs, just as Nikos had described. With skilled hands, the crew carefully guided the ship into the sheltered bay. Just moments after they were safely inside, the full force of the storm raged across the open sea. Fierce winds howled and waves crashed, but inside their rocky haven, the ship was protected. When the storm finally passed, the sun broke through the clouds, its light sparkling on the calm water again. The captain walked over to Nikos, a thoughtful expression on his face. "You did not shout. You did not panic," he said, placing a hand on the boy's shoulder. "You observed, and you thought. That is strategy." Nikos felt a warm glow of pride spread through him. He understood now, in ancient Greece, true greatness wasn't just about bravery in battle. It was about the wisdom to think carefully before acting. That evening, as a blanket of stars filled the sky, Nikos stood on the deck, helping the crew identify the constellations they used for navigation. "There," he said softly, pointing a finger toward the heavens. "The Great Bear." The captain nodded beside him, a look of approval in his eyes. In that quiet moment, Nikos realized something profound. A true sailor isn't the loudest person on the ship, or even the strongest. A true sailor is the one who watches, who thinks, and who helps guide others safely through the changing winds of fortune. And as the ship sailed for home under a sky full of stars, a young Greek sailor knew his journey had just begun. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.